Good afternoon, everybody. It's Pastor Dave once again on mini church number 3 from St. Andrews. I'm in the sanctuary and it's cold and it's quiet. And outside it's gray and misty and nasty here in New York. Folks are inside and they are doing the best they can. My family is trying to stay busy, trying to stay sane. I have a 2, a 4, and a 6-year-old. So whenever we try and work with the 4 and 6-year-old, the 2-year-old chimes in with some very cute distraction. However you are making homeschool or working from home or the changes in your world work for you and your family, I grant you peace. It's tough. This is not the easy stuff to do. But we know that around the world, this is the right thing to do. And for churches to come together as Christians to come together and say, it is good for all of us to wash our hands, to make smart choices about when and where we go out, to make smart choices about staying home and protecting ourselves and others. That is what we are called to do as people of faith. It occurred to me that there's a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety going on in our world. People want to know all kinds of questions. They want all kinds of answers. They want to be back to normal. And when things throw our system out of whack, everybody's anxiety goes up pretty high. In scriptures, the words "do not fear" are repeated like 135 times in just the New Testament. Do not fear, 135 times. But never the words, do not be afraid. Because being afraid and feeling fear, I think those are okay. I know those are okay. Because those are some of the feelings that God has given us. And if God gives us those feelings, then we're allowed to use them and we're allowed to communicate them. We're allowed to communicate when we're upset. We're allowed to communicate when we're angry, even if it's at God. Last night I talked with a family who was just going through a very rough time with a quarantine and a death and a funeral that they might not be able to go to. And there was fear in that conversation, and there was anger in that conversation. And I assured her and I assure you that all of those things are okay, that we can feel all of the feels, and we can feel angry, and we can shake our fist at God and almost say, what the hell? This is not how it's supposed to be. There's an entire series of Psalms called Lamentations, where the Jewish people, they sort of shake their fists and say, God, this is not the way that it's supposed to be. You're not doing your job. And that's okay. We've got that evidence in Scripture for us to lift up those thoughts, to lift up that anger and that fear, because God can handle it. I don't know what you're going through, and I'm sure you're going through all of the emotions, sometimes in about 10-minute spans. But friends, take a breath, light a candle at home, say some prayers. Give yourself as much space and time as you can, which is hard to do if you're home with a whole family living under one roof, or you've got little people clinging to every shred of your clothing. And know that God is with us, even in these hectic and chaotic times. We are praying for you here at St. Andrews. And if you need food, if you need cleaning supplies, if you need someone to go to the grocery store for you, if you are in the older folks age group and don't want to venture out, then do give us a call, drop me a text, drop me an email, and we can figure that out. We have an amazing community of people that are willing to go out and shop for others, go out and help others out in socially distant, safe ways. So wherever you are on your journey of faith today, know that there is a whole church of people that love you, that are praying for you, and that you are one of God's very special people. that God is with us even in these chaotic and hard times. And look to Scripture. You can Google the Psalms of Lamentation and you'll find there's about 15 of them, and they're kind of spread out throughout the Psalms. But those are the times when people were angry and they were annoyed and they were mad because they weren't living the way that they thought God chose for them. And lo and behold, in the end, it all worked out. And lo and behold, God's people got to the promised land and received all the blessings that God wanted them to. From our family to yours, God bless. Stay safe and wash your hands for the 1000th time today. Bye.